It is a very important Guru Puja today because we have completed 25 years of Guru Puja. इसको जरा घूमता कर दो. Also, it is extremely beautiful to see so many SahajaYogis who are really have become very great. It's a question of understanding what SahajaYoga is. It's a very unique discovery I feel now that people who were seeking the truth have found it and have now got it absolutely on their central nervous system. Yes, in some places it's difficult to explain how it has happened, how it has worked out, and how in these 25 years we have been able to achieve this expansion of SahajaYoga. The main thing I feel is that you all should know that as the tree grows, the roots have to grow much deeper. And they should spread also. If it doesn't happen, the tree cannot be sustained, only by Mother Earth. So the roots are in your own life, in your own heart. When we say we have become our own Guru, we should really try to find out with our introspection, are we our Guru or not? Because before this, your mind was on one side and your heart was on another side and your attention was in another dimension. So these three things were creating confusion within you. If you understand a human being, then you will be surprised to see how these three things act separately in a human being. And sometimes they fight also. First is your intellect and your mind. Second is your heart, your feelings, your emotions. And the third one is your attention. In these modern times, this confusion is the worst because all the time your attention is outside. It could be towards beautiful things or beautiful women or beautiful men or all kinds of nonsensical way of wasting your energy. Such attention then is absolutely like a horse which is let loose. You cannot control such an attention. And this attention runs wild from one to another. It's a fashion also. It's sort of a very popular thing to keep the attention moving all the time. But this attention that has to be towards the divine, towards the Almighty, is just being frittered away. Thus, attention doesn't grow its own roots. First is to find out about yourself. Where does your attention go? What makes you feel like looking after or concern or attention? You see, the attention comes from various problems, and could be your upbringing, where you are not controlled. Could be your education, could be your atmosphere in which you live, or could be your own ego or your conditioning. पानी बहुत ठंडा है शायद इस वजह से क्या चाय डाल दो इसमें पी लूँगा गर्म हो So this attention is being attacked by all these outside energies or negative forces, and it gets entangled. Like a river flowing straight into the ocean can get lost in a barren place. In the same way, this attention, which has to go towards the divine, gets frittered away and is punished. This weak attention cannot take you towards the divine. Ultimately, you find that all this attention is being completely absorbed or frittered away by the nonsense that's going on. Unfortunately or fortunately, you are born in these modern times. And in these modern times, as you know, it's a very chaotic condition. In these chaotic conditions, you don't know what is right and what is wrong. And there are all kinds of attractions which can take away your attention and reduce the energy of your attention. It is possible more for the people who are very right-sided. Also, the left-sided people can be very much affected. Right-sided people, as you know, go up to a point and become extremely dry, self-opinionated, and aggressive. All their attention is in aggression. While the people who are on the left side are indulging too much into their own whims and their desires and their own temptations. Both sides can fritter away your attention, which is the most important. It is the most valuable thing is your attention. But the attention cannot be controlled. by a person who doesn't have a weak mind or a weak heart. Now supposing you take somebody who is a very intelligent person. The intelligent person puts all his attention in capturing the attention of others. I don't know why, but it's a kind of a paradox. The person who himself is having such a lot of aggressiveness and all that, tries to be very sweet, tries to be very nice with people, just to keep good relations, or we can say the good behavior towards people, so that they pay attention to that person. This is a very subtle thing. They are not even aware about it, that we do such a thing just to make others pay attention to us. That is how we have seen that in these modern times, so many stupid things people do just to attract the attention of others. Most of the fads that had come up in modern times are just to make something stupid so that people should pay attention to them. Of course, the SahajaYogis are not like that. But I am just pointing it out, how in the modern times you have to be very careful that you should not try to attract the attention of others. Instead of that, what you have to do is to pay attention to others in a very subtle way, not with any expectation that if you are paying attention to somebody, that person should pay attention to you. It's a very big struggle I have seen in SahajaYoga also, that people try to say, become very popular or become very outstanding or something of a very great qualities to show off that they are something better than others. A person who is really in connection with the divine is least bothered about how people pay attention to that person, but automatically the attention of such a person is on others, which is very, very subtle, very subtle. You cannot make out that the attention of such a person is on you, but it works, and it works beautifully. We have to understand that we have now come to the realm of the divinity. We are in the kingdom of God, and we are divine people. We are very powerful people. But if we fritter away our attention, we become very, very weak people. It's easy to feel that we are SahajaYogis, we have done so much of realization of others, or we have helped so many people. All this consciousness, if it comes within you, then know that you are still not fully developed SahajaYoga. There should be no consciousness of what you are doing or what you are committing. There is no need to boast about it. There is no need to advertise it. Whatever you are is already can be seen by everyone. But even that desire is not needed, because you are doing just for the satisfaction of your spirit. So then when we come to our heart, in the heart resides the spirit, as you know very well. Now when it is the heart which has to work over your brain, and which can work, what becomes of you is nothing but you become a source of love and compassion. A source, I am saying. You do not assert on others. You do not say that I have done so much for you, and what are you doing to me? What is this that I should have so much expressed in so many ways, and here you are forgetting me and not doing anything for me. So the expectation of reward, if it is there, then you must know it's your mind which is giving you these ideas and is working it out. That way that you just now put attention to the amount of love the other person has given you for whatever you have given to another person. It's very subtle. So in SahajaYoga, you should see now yourself as just a source of love which is just flowing. In that you do not say that you have to have this or that, or you have to achieve this goal, or you have to become that. It's finished now. Once you have become the source, then how can you become something? The thing is, those who are receiving from the source want to have some sort of a reward or some sort of a recognition. In this subtle way, if you move, your mind is very clever. In SahajaYoga, we have very clever, intelligent people. But this mind, you have to be very careful. Because this mind can cheat you. So ask your mind, why are you in SahajaYoga? What is the purpose of your SahajaYoga? Gradually this mind will shut up. And then you have to ask yourself that what is my own desire now? What do I want? What do I want to achieve? Why I am in SahajaYoga? If you ask this question, you will see you will just dissolve. You will become thoughtless because there is no desire left now. There is no ambition left, no competition. All these qualities are of the brain, or we can say of the intellect, which makes you competitive, which makes you also jealous. So jealousy is also a product of this competitiveness, because when two persons are competing or many are competing and one is selected, others become jealous. I mean, instead of feeling happy, all right. So one of us has become something, so we should be very happy that he has become. On the contrary, the other people feel jealous. Why has he become? Who is he? What does he think of himself? Then they go further. Not you people, but on the whole people go further with it. And what do? Is to harm another person. In SahajaYoga, people are also sometimes very worried and frightened. There is no need to be worried or frightened, because now you have become a Sahajayogi and a Guru. Nobody can touch you. Anybody who tries to touch you will be subsided somehow or other. Of course, I don't do anything as such, but today only I heard that in Turkey there were two newspapers who were after SahajaYoga writing all nonsensical things. So the first one met with an accident and died. I didn't do that. The second one had two people, editor and sub-editor, were killed and somebody cut their throats. Of course, I didn't do that. Some fundamentalist must have done, or somebody must have done. Now, we don't have to worry as to who criticizes you, they say it about you, because you must know they are blind people. They are absolutely blind, they are not matured as far as the wisdom is concerned. For them to understand SahajaYoga is not possible. They go up to a point and then they stop. They cannot go further, because this dissolution of your being, as I said, the drop becomes the ocean, is difficult, especially in the West, where there are so many ideas of their own identifications and of their own personalities. Now, it is quite again a paradox that we don't want people to dress up indecently or we don't want people to behave indecently. Decency is a very big part of SahajaYoga. So one can ask that, Mother, when you say you have to completely dissolve, then why should we have this dignity? Why should we worry about having a dignity? It's quite all right. This question is all right. The answer is like this. Supposing you put a drop of some filth in the ocean, then the ocean can become dirty. If you put some poison, then the whole ocean can become poisonous. In the same way, whatever is not congenial to the ocean, to this divine power, should not be done. Otherwise, you will spoil the whole of it. We have had experience. We have had SahajaYogis who were leaders also, and they tried to be quite funny, and the whole collectivity was spoiled. One person who is not a good person can spoil the whole collectivity. The one who is then a leader on top of that is even worse. So one has to understand that when you are becoming a drop of the ocean, this ocean is the pure ocean of love. In that, you should not do something that will create repulsion, frustration, or even sometimes it can create a very grotesque image of the whole ocean. That is why we have to be decent people, decorous people. It is not that in any way we want you to be like a dandy people or anything, but what it means that you must respect your body, respect yourself, and a respectable personality you should have. Too much indulgence to that is not proper. But it should be such that you should respect yourself. It's very important. If you cannot respect yourself, you cannot respect at all the divinity within you. It's like a decoration of the divinity that your whole behavior, your whole attire has to be in such a way that people should know that he is a decent man. Indecent things have come out and have become now a everyday fashion. And they go on coming one after another because of the entrepreneurs. And we are playing into the hands of entrepreneurs. But if you know what dress you have to wear and what is good for you, once for all you have to decide. Now the attention should not be also wasted in that today I'll wear this kind of a sari, tomorrow I'll wear that kind of a dress, third day, because that also spoils the attention. But if it is a decent thing, it's perfectly all right, and that will really make you feel dignified within yourself. In modern times, as the people are, I don't think they have much respect for themselves. You see very highly posted people, highly placed people doing all kinds of nonsensical things like cheating, like having relations with people who are of dishonorable position. All this is happening. If you see in the newspaper, you are shocked how these people at the helm of affairs could be like this. Because they are still not mature enough to know where are they, what is their position, how they have to be. If you are mature enough, then you will understand that, say, I am a housewife, I am such a minister, I am prime minister, how I should be. That all that achievement they have outside remains outside, doesn't go inside. But for a SahajaYogi, it should be absorbed within. It has to be absorbed within so that the attention is not wasted too much. The another part which one has to see is the heart. Some people are saying, Mother, if our heart is ruling the head, then we become too much emotional, we get too much attached to people, we see sort of individual friendships and things like that. On this point, one has to know that why do you get attached to one person? It's not your heart. It's not your heart. You get attached to a person because you have some sort of we can say a relationship maybe, or maybe you like the hairdress of that person, maybe you like the dress that person has. Something outside quality is attracting you towards that person. It is not something inner quality that is attractive. For example, if you are attached to your children too much, you will spoil them. They will not come up to your expectations. Anybody you get attached to, you must verify why are you attached to such a person. What is the reason? Now in SahajaYoga, people are attached to each other very much, I know that. But it is not for any external reason. Because somebody is rich, because somebody is famous, because somebody is doing some sort of a extraordinary work. No. They are attached to that person because that person is a bundle of vibrations. That it gives you tranquility, it gives you joy, and it gives you a kind of an immense resolution of your being. So that happens when you are very much there. As I have told you the story of once this potter was kneading the clay, and his name was Gora Kumar. And when Namadeva, who was a tailor but very well known poet, both of them were poets, he went and he saw this potter was doing such a, it was not a very respectable work he was doing. He was busy kneading the clay. He looked at him, and what he says, that I have come here to see the Chaitanya, to see the formless. But what I find, that the formless has got into a form. This only, I always say, is only possible between the two saints of the same level. That the way they appreciate, the way they feel, there are no words for what I want to say, but the way they feel the oneness, the unity, which is a subtle one between each other. Such a feeling, if you have for each other, then know that you are really now dissolved and you are in the ocean of joy. But on the contrary, those who are sitting on the shores cannot feel that way. They judge, they try to find out what's wrong with that person, this is not so. They can never appreciate another person. What they feel is that they have a right to criticize, to find out faults with others, and that they are something special. And the other person also finds out faults with this person. So it's a fault-finding society, I find sometimes, and you get fed up with it. But when you see that another person who is there, the person who is another saint, you feel such rapport, such oneness, such a spontaneous feeling for that person, which is absolutely pure. There's no expectation. There's no mental activity to find out what's wrong with that person. There's no judgment about what the person is like, but just oneness with that person you feel, and you feel that your quality of your love has got a new shine, a new dimension. So it comes to that, what we should appreciate within ourselves is the purity of our love. When you are pure, the purity is there, you do not get attached to anything, but in that detachment you are enjoying. In attachment you cannot enjoy, because in that you are bothered more about the superficial relationship with the other person. Now, in a wider way, if you see SahajaYoga, you are all very important people. Extremely important. Because in the history of spirituality, there were not so many saints sitting together. Never can you see so many people from so many countries thinking about divinity and morality. It is impossible to get so many people together on any point whatsoever who are feeling the oneness, we can say the most soothing feeling with each other. Whether it is comfortable or not, whether it is very much according to the norms of comfort. People who are saints are absolutely happy with other saints and other saintly people. They rush to people who are saints. Once it happened to me when I was in Kolhapur, that they told me there is a saint who talks about it. So where is he? They said he lives up there and it will take at least 3 hours for you to climb up. He only lives there, he doesn't come out. I said, all right, I would like to go and see him. So I was walking and it started raining. So they said, Mother, you never go to anybody like that. Why are you going to him? I said, no, just I want to go up and see him. Now this fellow, they said, had a control over rain. But it was raining very heavily. And when I climbed up, I saw him sitting down and going on like this with great anger. So I said, let us go and sit in his cave, because this fellow is now not in a normal mood. So I went and sat in the cave there, and there he came. He couldn't walk because his, they say that his legs became absolutely lame because of the vibrations that were too much in him. Whatever it is, they couldn't walk. So they brought him there, he sat down. So the first thing he asked me, why did you not allow me to stop the rain? It was raining so heavy. And when you were coming up, I didn't want you to get drenched. The way now you are all full of water, and I didn't want you to suffer like this, because it's not a good welcome to you. So did you do it just to control my ego? Because I must have developed ego because I can control rain, that's a fact. So I just smiled at him. I said, see, you are my son, isn't it? And you have bought a sari for me. But you are a sannyasi, so I can't take a sari from you, because sannyasi dharma is different. I am a grihastha. I can't take a sari from you. So I deliberately got drenched so that you could give me sari. The whole temper, whole unnatural behavior all dropped out. He became extremely sweet. Yes, yes, he said, how do you know I bought a sari? At least I said, in love you know everything. And then he brought a sari for me, and he did aarti and everything. But you see, all these things show that how the love masters everything so easily. Small, small things, if you are expert in expressing your love, how it works out. There are so many incidents I can give you like this. But the main thing we have to see within ourselves, do we really love each other? Do we really have affection and compassion for others who are not even Sahajogis? Those who are not Sahajogis are also the blind people. You should have compassion for them. You should feel that these people are so unhappy and they cannot come to Sahaja and they cannot become Sahajogis, and only in their ego they are satisfied. So you must have real compassion for them. If you have this compassion, you might be told by people that why you are wasting your energy, you are doing this, you are doing that. The compassion is actually unites all these things within ourselves. That's the uniting factor. First is your attention. First, which is very, very important, I think. And the second one is your intellect, or you can say your mind. And the third one is your heart. They all get somehow or other united together. Once you have this capacity to have compassion, you don't quarrel with anyone. You don't have to think about it. You just feel absolutely at home when you are compassionate, and with this compassion you are having relations with others. Now this compassion is not studied out or worked out or maneuvered. It is just there. It is there. In that compassion, it forgives, it forgets all nonsensical things. The forgiveness is only possible if you have this compassion within you. Now even there are Sahajogis who asked me, Mother, how can we have love and compassion? I mean, this is a question which many have asked me. Now the simple thing is that if you develop your thoughtless awareness in your meditation, in thoughtless awareness, you watch anything in thoughtless awareness, any relationship you see it in thoughtless awareness, then you will be amazed how the gates of this compassion will open. Thoughtless awareness opens your heart, but it doesn't go to one person or to another person, but it is throwing lights on all the sides of your being. Everybody is benefited. Everybody has a divine feeling for you. Because this compassion is not linear, nor is it aggressive, but it just flows and smooths and soothes everything that is chaotic, that is troublesome, and that is painful. This is what you have now. You know, these things were done by saints long time back, but nobody liked them and they crucified them out of jealousy. Because if somebody became a saint, then people felt very jealous of that person. So they killed them or tortured them and troubled them. The situation is not so bad now. Of course, there are some useless people. There are some people who are really monsters. I agree. Forget about them. But on the whole, our attitude should be that these are blind people. Now, looking at somebody who is maybe something wrong with that person, may not be good natured, maybe anything. But in your heart, you should not have any grudge. You should not have any complaints about it. You can talk to that person about it. You can tell him in a way that will be absorbed. But you should not try to make an issue out of it and try to in any way trouble or torture anyone. Can you put off this one? Pankhe ko utar. You have seen already in SahajaYoga those people who came and were troublesome and were not of any worth for us just dropped out by themselves. We didn't have to do much about it. They just dropped out and they have gone into some sort of a problematic life. I even now receive letters from them saying that we have this problem, we have that problem, and how to solve this and solve that. But it automatically happens, because after all, there is a big choice going on, and the divine is trying to decide who are capable of receiving the blessings of the divine. This is the only thing you have to achieve. That's why we have come to SahajaYoga. Nothing else is important. There are people who are very highly placed, tomorrow they go into dust. There are people who are regarded as very great famous people, they go into dust. It's all the time is happening in your presence. Every day you read a newspaper and you find how they are behaving. Like today, somebody told me that in the newspaper there was that now one bishop is going to discotheque. Can you imagine? He is going to a disco. Now, what people must be thinking, they must be breaking their heads. Now what to do, this stupid fellow whom we call as the bishop and everything is now going to disco. Whatever he had respect, maybe it is artificial, but it's all lost, finished. Because, you see, as they have no value of themselves. They just live with their ego. I'm such a big man, I'm this, that, I'm a bishop. They walk in a different way, they talk in a different way, and suddenly how they go down. Now what was the need for this old Johnny to go to the discotheque? I can't understand. So because of this kind of life that he is leading, thinking no end of himself, he could never see that one day I will go down like that. Another thing which you should say in a very wider way, that he had no feeling why people respected him. He never knew why people had respect for him. Or he was not conscious of it. At least he would have preserved that. He did not. Why should he go to a place about which he has been always denouncing and saying that these are bad places, one should not go there? So, in your case, you have to be conscious that you are SahajaYogis. If you become the ocean, doesn't mean that your consciousness has vanished, but it has enlarged. You have got the consciousness of the ocean. You are not the one who has become like a mesmerized person or a person who has no connection with oneself. On the contrary, you are connected with yourself much more than you were before. So when you become the ocean, you don't lose your personality, but you expand your personality. You become a greater person. And this is happening in SahajaYoga. I am noticing many people are developing that kind of a personality. And they are expressing it and manifesting it. It gives me great joy to see in my lifetime, I could see such people who are doing this kind of thing. So whenever you are doing something, whatever is your enterprise, whatever your lifestyle, whatever it is, that's all outside. One should not lose your attention which is towards God Almighty. If that is lost, you are lost. There's a very nice poem Namadeva has written about that there was a boy who was flying a kite, and the kite was floating. And this boy was looking after the kite, and while he was talking to everybody else, but his attention was on the kite. Then it goes further. He says that a lady is having the little child on her body, on the waist, and she is cleaning the house. She is cleaning with a little broom. She has to move from here to there, and after that cleaning, she has to do other work also. But the child is here. So her attention is on the child, that he should not fall down, something should not happen. Though she is doing all kinds of work, everything, her attention is on the child. In the same way, your attention should be on your divine power of Kundalini. This third one, he is described that there are many ladies who are taking water from a river. Sometimes they have 3 pitchers on their heads and walking. And when they are walking, they are talking to each other, telling stories about each other and anything, but their attention was on the pitchers which are on their head. In the same way, whatever we are doing, our attention should be on our Kundalini. We should find out what are we doing. As it is, we have the light, but you must take light into every corner of your life, every aspect of your thinking, every kind of an effort you make. And you will be amazed if you really watch your attention, you will really know what you are doing. It's the attention to be watched so much that ultimately you will be surprised that the attention is no more frittering away. Without the attention, you cannot work out SahajaYoga. This is the main problem of SahajaYoga, is that your attention has to be towards God Almighty. Otherwise, nothing can work out. Your ascent cannot work out. If you have come to SahajaYoga to make money, all right, you will make money and get out. If you have come here to show off your knowledge and all that, you will show it and get out. If you have come here to show your power and your authority, you stay there and get out. Like that, many people have gone out, if you know. And this is what is to be really taken care of, that you don't try to use SahajaYoga for all these stupid things which are not permanent, which are not eternal. SahajaYoga is to be used just for cleansing yourself, for becoming the ocean of love. Now, many people also feel that love is rather difficult because you can be harmed by others or somebody can take advantage of you. The main thing about love is, if it is not a pure love, then it creates problems. Supposing you trust somebody because of money, trust somebody because somebody relationship or anything, and you go on indulging into it, ultimately you will find that you will be very disappointed. Very disappointed. But supposing you show your love just with purity about that person, it's so subtle, it's so innate within you, built in, it's there. We have to just open out. Every human being is a bundle of love. And when he is afraid of others, especially the West, there are so many ideas they have created that you are afraid of this kind of love and that kind of love, and you see the way the perversion and all nonsense is there. But in pure love, there is a kind of a beautiful light which protects you, which guides you, and which enlightens your life completely. This light is just nourished, and also we can say, like the lamp has to have the oil. This is the one that is for our spirituality. The love of a person. You are embodiment of love, take it from me. Because you are a human being. Even the animals are there who know what is love is. You see, I know that if you love a tiger, the tiger will never harm. If you love a snake, it will never harm. If you try to love anybody who is very cruel and very bad, gradually he will come down. He will harm you little bit, he'll do this, he'll see things, and he might be mean with you, do all kinds of things. But then gradually you find your love works and works and works, and ultimately it is your love which is important to that person. Now, your love is really firstly appreciated more by innocent people like children. Children know what love is. If the children see you and they run away, that means something wrong with you. I've seen people, like once we were in Japan, and there were two foreigners who were there, ladies who were dressed up, I don't know from which hairdresser they had dressed up themselves, and were very much overly decorated. And they came with us. And we climbed up a place to see something, and when we came down, there were some children standing there. They had gone before us. So they said, "Where are those witches?" I said, "Which went with you?" I said, "What do you mean?" "They came, we were frightened. We ran away to our houses. Now we have come to tell you they are witches." The small little Japanese children, they are witches, they are witches. Be afraid of them. And they had decorated themselves so much they were dressed up. They have tried to make such a beautiful show of themselves, but for the children, they were witches. And they ran away. And when we came, they came running and telling us, "Don't be with them, they are witches." So the judgment of the innocent people is the best judgment. If they are innocent, they are extremely well equipped to judge a person who has love and who does not have. And they are the best people because they will appreciate you the best. They will understand that these are people of some high quality. But if they are not innocent, cunning, some people are extremely cunning. That's the intelligence part of it. They can never appreciate you. They'll appreciate something which is something very, very abnormal, which from divine angle is very, very obtuse and funny. But they will never appreciate you. Never, cannot. Up to a point they may, but may not. Doesn't matter. You have to appreciate yourself. You have to know that you are not unkind to anyone, you are not judging others, and that you are appreciating everything in that person, whatever is good in him as a human being. It works. You have seen this all has worked through my love and compassion. But I am not conscious that I am giving you love or compassion or anything. I am not conscious even that I am giving you anything. I am not even conscious as to I have created such a lot of beautiful people. I am not conscious of that. It's just happening. Just like this tree is here, see, it is not conscious as to what it is and what it looks like. It just is there. In the same way, if it happens to you, I tell you, you become really the source of such a joy for everyone. Now, what do we have to do for this world? What is needed to be done for this world? People talk of peace, this, that. There's no need to do anything. It's just you become a personality of that kind. You emit peace, you emit love, you emit joy to others. Now, this power is within you because it is built in, is within you. It is in a potential form in every person. Only thing, it has to be brought out. Now, with affection, you may not, but with love and feeling, that is innate within you. Because there are no words for such subtle things that are within yourself. Because so far people don't know what are these things that make you feel oneness with others. All this can happen to you very easily when you understand that you are not this mind, you are not this body, you are not this attention, You are the spirit. Then you introspect. Am I the spirit? All right. If I am the spirit, what am I doing? Once you become the spirit, then you feel, why not others? Out of love and compassion, not for becoming some leaders or anything, just out of love. If I am that, why not make others like that? And that is how SahajaYoga has spread so much. And we have such gems of people, such beautiful people, that I really never expected so much to happen in my lifetime. It has never happened with any saint, any incarnation, any prophet. So now you people have become absolutely khalis, means absolutely you have vacated yourself fully. The story of Radha and Krishna is very beautiful, where Radha said that, why do you take this मुरली को अंग्रेजी शब्द नहीं आ रहा, flute to your throat. Why do you take this? Because Murli is such a sweet thing. Flute is not so sweet. But why do you take this flute to your lips? After all, she must have been jealous, I think so. So it's a story, just a story. So he said, why not go and ask the flute? So flute, she went and asked, why Sri Krishna takes you to his lips all the time? So she said, I have become completely hollow. There's nothing in me. He puts me to his lips, and people say that I am playing the tune. It's he who is playing the tune. Where am I? I am not there. I am just enjoying the same tune which is passing through me. That is the expression. But then Radha told Sri Krishna, why don't you make the same way as the flute? So this is what you have to be, the flute. Means you have to be hollow within yourself. All these little things, which come into your life are not important. What is important is, have you become completely hollow? This is where I would say introspection will help. The one who makes the flute is also within you. So let there be a flute made out of you by yourself. This is the way you make yourself what you have to become. In Gita, Sri Krishna has said, Atmanne Atmane Shtushta. Means the spirit gets satisfied by itself. Isn't it very difficult thing to understand? How can the spirit be satisfied by itself? But now you can understand what Sri Krishna said, that your own spirit becomes satisfied with itself. Then it doesn't require any other satisfaction. You seek the comfort of your spirit, you seek the joy of your spirit, you seek the beauty of your spirit. You don't even seek, but it is in itself is filled with that joy of the spirit. And it only can be satisfied by itself. There are many people who say, I am not satisfied. You see, this I am not very much satisfied. It's not that I am satisfied. In the same way, the spirit can say, I am not satisfied. But the spirit can be satisfied with spirit only. It's like the reflection in the mirror. When you look at the mirror, you see there your own reflection. Now, if the mirror is not all right, I will say, I am not satisfied with what reflection we are getting out of this mirror. So you will change the mirror, you will bring the better mirror, you will try to get a better picture of yourself. In the same way, the spirit which is reflected within you wants to see its own image. And then what you do is you go on somehow or other changing, cleaning, making it all right through your meditation, so that your spirit is satisfied with the spirit. Sri Krishna wrote Gita in such an ambiguous manner because he was very clever. He knew human beings cannot take things straight, so tell them this way, so that they'll run around and then ultimately they'll come to truth. But truth is very simple. Truth is extremely simple. You don't have to go here and there, and you don't have to stand on your legs or feet all the time. You don't have to fight with anything. You don't have to take to some sort of an tapasya, abstinence, nothing. Only just you become like a flute. You become hollow. It's not difficult. It's not difficult at all for SahajaYogis, because already the Kundalini has made you hollow. It's not difficult. But still, I find people deviate, their attention goes here and there. So many people have told me how their problems were solved without doing anything about it. I said, what did you do? No, mother, we just put it at your lotus feet. I said, really? Yes, that's all. Or we were just looking at the problem, what the problem is. We are standing outside and looking at the problem, and the problem got solved. Even the most difficult problems that you think can be solved very easily. Because you have powers. Your powers are great. You are saints, but more than saints. Much more than saints, because you are born at such a volatile times. Like supposing you have a light, in darkness you are finding something, you bump into that and bump into that. But supposing this is a place full of gas. You bring one light, the whole thing becomes enlightened. Like that you have powers. But you must get out of this nonsense of me, my and mine. I don't know how to say you get out. It's not like a swimming pool that you jump into it and get out. It's not like that. It is another kind of a very subtle understanding that our roots have to grow. And for growing our roots, we have to go within ourselves and find out within ourselves what is the area we are occupying, in what areas in our lifestyle we are taking these roots inside. Also, Sri Krishna has said that the tree of life has the roots in the brain and grows downward. It's very interesting to understand that the roots are growing in the brain. That means your own intellect is just covered with compassion. It's just being absolutely one with compassion. I had told you a story about a saint who was to take to the water for the deity in Gujarat, and he walked 1 month to go there with a pitcher of water. And there because it was a very high mountain on which this deity was, and he reached at the foothill. There he found a little donkey dying of thirst. So he poured all the water for that donkey. So those who were with him, they asked, what are you doing? You brought it all the way, and why are you putting it for this donkey? He said, you don't know, the God has come all the way down just to meet me here. He doesn't want me to climb up. This kind of a absolutely simple understanding of another's feelings and another's problems, you can solve them. You can sort them out. And the person will tell you that you sorted out my problem, but you will not know how you have solved, because this love is the power. This love can see things. It is everything. It's like you see a television, all right, it's a television. If you see a telephone, it's a telephone. If you see anything you do with the power, it's all is embodied inside this love. You need not have a telephone. I never telephone to anyone. Mostly I never telephone. I mean, if somebody forces me, then it's all right. I never telephone. But not to save the bill. But I do not telephone because there's no need. The whole subtle of the ether is at your feet. Just you want to do something, you can just do it just with the vibrations. Now many people say, Mother, cure this person, cure that person. There's no need. You all can cure, you are so many. You can cure anyone you want to. But you bring that person to me, it's not needed. Just you can cure anybody you feel. You can solve all their problems yourself. One little bandhan can solve it. But for that, you should be the source of love. Once you give a bandhan, this powerful love takes over. All right, I'll do the job. But for that, you have to be the master of this beautiful thing. Now, one thing is very different from other masteries. In other masteries, you see people try to dominate or to try to use it for destroying others. But the mastery of love is that you know how to build a rapport with the divine love. And this divine love is not only powerful, but it is such a efficient, I should say, such an alert instrument which works out everything in such a manner that you are amazed how things have worked out. And everybody has noticed it. I know you all know it, not that you don't know, but you don't use. You have to be on the vibratory awareness and use that. Even giving yourself as a bandhan itself clarifies you. Imagine in your hand there is this great power of giving you this balance, this love, this affection, and all the protection, while you can give it to others also. You have become now the part and parcel of the divine power. You are now in the kingdom of God. Whatever you want to do can be done by this divine power. With all this telling you, I still feel sometimes you are not confident. You get upset. You feel that how can this be? You have no trust in yourself, you have no faith in yourself. And also there are some people who feel they are neglected or something should have happened to them. Once a lady started crying. So I said, why is she crying? She said, because Mother didn't smile at me. I didn't smile at her. But I never smile at anyone. I don't know why she thinks like that. So I asked her, why do you want me to smile at you? What's wrong with you? You are all right. Why should I smile at you? So, you see, also this kind of a feeling that comes up sometimes, that in SahajaYoga, Mother should all the time be only attached to you. She cannot get attached. It's a helpless condition I have. There are so many, you don't know, defects I have, which you have no idea. I don't know how to count money. If I give me 100 rupees, I'll count it 200 rupees. See, I don't know many things. I don't know banking. I don't know many things. And one of them is I don't know how to put attention to this person or to that person, like politicians would do. You see, you must look after this man because he's very important. Nothing. To me, you are just part and parcel of me, finished. Nothing more than that. So, you see, everybody should know that you are very close to my heart. You are very much there. I am very proud of you. And something, really it's a miracle that has happened that you people have taken to SahajaYoga. So on that point also, that how much mother cares for me, what she does. Now supposing I tell somebody, all right, you don't sit here, sit there, they feel bad. Anything you do, they feel bad. This kind of a person has no sense of love. He doesn't understand mother's love. So at the end of the whole thing, I must tell you that when you are a guru, you are also a mother. You have to express yourself like a mother. She's kind, she's gentle, she forgives, she also corrects whenever necessary, but in her own sweet way she corrects. So the correction takes place. It's not that a rebellion starts. So all that wisdom of a mother is within you, is already there, so please try to use. I am sure it will all work out, and as it is, we are a very beautiful group of people who are something out of the blue, who are so much in peace and in joy together. May God bless you all. Today's Guru Puja will be, of course, we can have a little of Ganesha's Atharva Shirsha, but Devi Puja will be much less. And for Guru Puja, I would request the country leaders to come up. Country leaders have to come up. So it is in a different way, you can say that the main thing is the Guru Puja, where the country leaders have to come. The Devi Puja will be followed after that, which is very short.